Whistle foul. JT Thor went up and contested that. That's going to be his second personal foul. JT has some commentary regarding whether that was a foul or not. He did, in fact, and rightfully so. I can't imagine where the foul could have been on that one. Going to the basket, some of it is right at the rim. And Thor gets a hand on the basketball. Marcos Simonovic. This is first 7 3-pointers. And misses that free throw. On the close bond with Bulls teammate Nikola Vucevic. With him in Serbia, training with him in Serbia this past summer. And of course, Jones, you opened up the summer league, so you've been here the entire time. So hasn't that been the case really for all teams? Everyone started out shooting poorly, and now you're starting to see teams starting to make shots and starting to get into a little bit more of a rhythm offensively. Yeah, they certainly have. And as the chemistry develops between teammates, you see some of that happen. Whistle and a foul. It'll bring it back into the Charlotte basketball. Actually, that's going to be a out of bounds, a turnover. Bryce McGowan's inbounding, 19 years old. 40th pick overall by Minnesota, then traded to Charlotte. Scored 25 points in his college debut against Western Illinois. 29 against Sam Houston State. So another guy that takes a long time to acclimate. Nice looking finish up top by Crusher going almost to a half on that possession. We've seen that a number of times already today. Showing some old school tapes. I like it. Drive and kick action. Lewis missing everything. That's a smart play there by Mark Williams. You grab that basketball, instead of let it going out of bounds. That's a rebound. There you go. For the big fellas, you got to know that. Stuff some stats. Knocking down another field goal. He's got 8 quick points in the game for Charlotte. And he's been impressive early coming out of Dayton. Playing for Anthony Grant down the stretch during his career at Dayton. Actually has a great relationship with Penny Hardaway. Wow. And Anthony Grant, one of the top leadership coaches from Miami, Florida. We got a sideline violation. Hornets step out of bounds. Figueroa and his heels on the line. We got a timeout. Back after this.
NBA 2K23 Summer League is presented by NBA 2K23. Answer the call.
Another day without care. Is that a four on your t-shirt? Oh, it's time to freshen up and dress like a person.
Discover intuitive technology at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado, didn't have the fighting spirit to draw out his passion, he never would have turned chrome into a canvas. If he let a lack of tools stop him, he never would have started tattooing using a homemade machine. And if he listened to those who said you need an art degree, he never would have perfected the street look that made him a street legend. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes him lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
I'm a fancy exercise bike dude. And I'm taking the T-Twirl. And if you have the right home insurance coverage, you could be working this out yourself. So get all set.
Always 2 for $6 every day. Oh, it's got ranch on it. Oh, it's got ranch on it. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Welcome back, everyone, to Las Vegas. Kupchak, head coach, Steve Clifford, Charlotte Hornets. And Terry with a nice bank shot. And Terry wasn't a very aggressive scorer at Arizona this year. He often played backseat to Jim Maverick, but he has the ability to score, especially attacking downhill. But you see his true value is getting the job done defensively. I think this is where his money will be made in the NBA game.
Curry is inside with the layup.
Don't you love it when we start talking about guys and they just make 3 straight great plays? Basketball guys can be nice ones in a row. A 6-0 run. So Chicago has that up by a bucket and turned it under pressure on Hornets defensively. And you can see Terry has that infectious personality. I mean, great interview, by the way, but also a guy that teammates love to play with. He's a guy that gives you that energy defensively. And of course, for a guy like me, and I'm sure like you too, Jonesy, for guys that like to shoot the basketball, you always like to have teammates that really enjoy playing defense. Takes the pressure off me having. Somebody got to do it.
That's something to see. One thing about Jalen Terry I found a little interesting. He threw out the first pitch at a recent Chicago White Sox game on July 5th. And Corey, get this, he said it was the first time he's ever thrown a baseball.
That's today's game. Yeah. You're talking about guys who are pretty much specialized in basketball their entire life.
Yeah,
We grew up playing all 3 sports, at least the basketball, baseball, and football. I was never much of a hockey guy. I'm not sure if you were, Canada, you might have played hockey.
You never seen a brother on skate.
I was nice with it. I'm not going to lie. That's good. You put me on some blades, I'm nice. That's a good thing.
Half-court trap and timeout called by Jalen Crutcher.
We can escape for a little bit and come right back on the other side.
Fernando, he's here.
Drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard and new caramel drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard. That's 2 DQ All-Stars. Wait for 2 MLB All-Stars. Play it cool.
DQ.
Happy tastes good.
Take an afternoon break to see your next home. Or maybe the evening is better. Or maybe right after coffee. With flexible and easy ways to start scheduling a tour, there's no place like Zillow.
These targeted ads are getting really creepy.
It's almost like Skittles is listening in on our conversations.
Gain the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
We recognize your genius. All you need is opportunity. And the NBA Foundation is here to help America's Black youth create, build, and grow careers. We're investing in your future because we're dedicated to helping young people like you win in whatever arena you choose.
Your blessing is a gift, and I just want to be.
Jalen Crutcher off to a great start here early, knocking down not 1 but 2 threes in the opening minutes of this game, attacking the basket as well, going to the half hook, and Crutcher taking it out deep, knocking down another 3. Crutcher grew up crossing paths with Penny Hardaway as a 6th grader, and of course was in the gym with Penny a lot. Chose to go to Dayton. Actually, his last college game was against Penny Hardaway at Memphis. That's how he ended his career. Lost that game in NIT 2 seasons ago, but he's finding his way here right now with the Charlotte Hornets.
Pretty good mentor to take on a pro career. Crutcher with a step back 3. Made space, left it on the front rim, rebounded by the Bulls. And Darius Thornwell, erstwhile of South Carolina and Los Angeles Clippers. Simonovic walked with it on the ball fake.
Now that's an old school fake. We used to do that back in the day. Going over somebody's head, see if they're going to turn around. I've never seen it called a travel. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Let's see. Okay. It was a walk. We do know that officiating is the toughest job in this game, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, just ask Richard Jefferson. Here's Alexander. That's my guy. With a name like Alexander, you know he can shoot. That one off the mark. I can appreciate that. We got a foul underneath. Shout out to my by Coach Steve Smith, retiring this year. Oak Hill Academy, 2 guys right now on the floor. Oak Hill alum Tyshawn Alexander, as well as Sindarius Thornwell. Tell me about Sindarius Thornwell and his prospects and his skill set as an NBA player. I remember his time with the Los Angeles Clippers and playing for Doc Rivers. And what does it look like for him moving forward, you think? Honestly, moving forward for him, it's going to be tough because there are younger guys in that position that can, fill the same role and the same void, similar to what he did coming out of college. He's a hard-nosed player, a guy that can go out and get buckets. But when you think about someone like a Darius Thornwell, they always make the decision, is it better for me to stay here and try this NBA route or play in the G League, or just to go make a bunch of money overseas, which, I'm sure he's been able to do. Running lane pretty well. Here's Kai Jones, who spoke with our Jordan Sedano a little bit earlier. Chicago up by 2, 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Thornwell. Boy, nice post move. Simonovic couldn't get the tip to go. D'Angelo Ball getting ready to check into the ball game for the Hornets. And here he comes, number 8. Sarah's father, LeVar Ball, walking through the crowd at halftime, at the break before this game tonight. And D'Angelo into the ball game. One a rousing ovation, a crowd favorite here. Wednesday against Cleveland. Yesterday had 12 points on 5 and 9 from the field, 3 rebounds in 13 minutes of play. Of course, his younger brother LaMelo, star point guard for the Hornets. Alexander turned the corner. Nice kick out McGowan's. One more to the corner. That's good basketball. Everybody and everything but the result. As Manic missed the 3. Hill with a show and go. And he walks with it. Got a little ahead of himself. NBA 2K23 Summer League action continues tomorrow on NBA TV. Philadelphia, Denver at 6, Sacramento, Phoenix at 8, followed by Miami and Toronto at 10 o'clock Eastern time. I was hoping to get a look at Nikola Jovic of the Heat, the first-round draft pick. He sat yesterday out, taking care of a little ailment. They played a series with him as they were so many high first-round picks. Thompson kicks it back to Thornwell, a deep 3. Sindarius connects. He has that ability. A flat-out score. There, Thornwell took South Carolina to a Final Four. That's how special he was as a senior. I want to say that was South Carolina's first Final Four in school history. Manic with the put back up the air ball. Frank Martin did a great job. Has since moved on. This one a foul to go against LiAngelo Ball. You're 100% correct on that one. That was their only Final Four, and they also shared the Final Four that year with Dawn Staley and the South Carolina women's basketball program, who won a national championship that year, her first. So it was a lot of firsts for South Carolina that season. Dawn Staley, wait, she's in the Hall of Fame as a player and coach. She's in the Hall of Fame right now as a player, not yet as a coach. She will be. And by the way, give it a few minutes. That's big sis. Wahoo, UVA. Love me some Dawn Staley. I played pickup with Dawn. My first year at Virginia, her last year at Virginia. And I'll be honest with you, Joseph, we got on the court. And the first time I've seen someone do stuff and I couldn't get it out. I mean, that good. She was awesome with a basketball in her hands. One of the real legends in the game. Kai Jones, dribble handoff. That 3 is short by Alexander. Alexander's 0 for 2 from downtown. That pass tipped out of bounds by Bryce McCowans. 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. And this is the lineup that really took care of business for the Hornets. They got 40 points off their bench in their last win. And you think about Manning, Kai Jones, Ball, and Tyshawn Alexander. These four guys have done a great job stepping up in reserve minutes. A pretty prolific group, potentially. Straight line drive, good help by LiAngelo Ball. Kick out three is no good and rebounded. Here's McGowan. Plenty of times they got a 2-for-1 if they want it. Jones with a nice feed inside. Good contest by Thornwell. Got the stop. And that's going to be a foul against Manick on the drive. That's his first personal foul. Ethan Thompson will go to the free throw line. Brother Stephen Jr. was his teammate at Oregon State. His dad, of course, Stephen Thompson, an assistant coach with the Oregon State Beavers, also a high flyer back in the day. Remember him with Syracuse Orangemen. Absolutely. Played with the great squad that included Derek Coleman, Riley Owens, Sherman Douglas at the point. He was one of the, as I remember it, one of the first West Coast dudes to go that far east. Yeah. But the trend continued. Yes, of course. We talked about Jason Hart coming from LA, going all the way over to Syracuse. A number of guys have made their way to Syracuse on the West Coast. They probably do their visits in the summer. Absolutely. Go to Syracuse in February or January. Absolutely. Navigate those snowbanks. You see Tyshawn Alexander call for the offensive foul, just knocking the arm off. You know, it hit him on the third one. But here's the question. Yeah. Isn't it a foul to actually have your arm on it in the first place? And you know what? Yeah. It was the face-up. That's the difference. There you go. Alexander with the steal. And another foul call with 2.7 to go. And that was it. It was the face. Yeah. Tyshawn had turned to face up. You have to take hands off. But when you turn to the side or back down, you can have the forearm. So they had a foul to give on the sideline out of bounds for Charlotte. Manick will inbound. 2.7 to go. Ball should have to get a quick one out. Had to rush it, and that's the end of the first quarter play. Charlotte up by 6. Jalen Crutcher knocking down threes, getting the job done offensively for the Hornets. And on the other side, Dalen Terry making his presence felt on both ends.
Pizza Hut's got 2 mediums for just $6.99 each. That's less than $1 a slice.
Got 2 more slices. So much pizza.
Mom Pizza.
What?
Carry out 2 medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. No one out Pizza Hut.
What about this guy?
This guy's been through a lot.
Dogs bring out the good in us. Pedigree brings out the good in them. Feed the good.
Grammarly adds confidence, so you don't undermine your message. And offers rewrites, so your ideas come through clearly. Try Grammarly today at Grammarly.com.
Discover new worlds. Discover what's good. Pantene Nutrient Blends.
We love our house. We've been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
That's not the Eiffel Tower. You know that, right? It's not. Hey, man, spend enough time in Vegas, you start hallucinating a little bit. Think you're on the Champs-Elysees for a split second. But it is Paris, though. Yeah. No, there we go. Dalen Terry inside with the bucket off a nice pass. Terry's got 6 and seeing a little bit of his offensive skills here. Corey. Yeah, and he's a guy that's not going to score the buckets with the ball in his hands. He's going to be more of a cutter, a slasher, a guy that is being able to, benefit off of having guys like a DeMar DeRozan, like a Zach LaVine around him, giving so much attention that they draw and be able to get easy buckets, but more importantly, have to go out and guard the opponent's best offensive almost turned it over. It'll be their ball, baseline, out of bounds. That was Drell with the handle. Got a world peace. Tayshaun Prince. Talk about long defenders like Dale and Terry. Tayshaun Prince was that guy.
Yes, he was. People often forget about how important he was to the greatest five alive. You're talking about the Detroit Pistons 2004 NBA champs. And they talk about Sheed and Ben and Chauncey and Rick, but they oftentimes forget about Tayshaun, who was that guy that went out and guarded the opposing team's best perimeter player on a nightly basis. Matter of fact, I told you guys talking with Chauncey earlier. Yes. Yeah, he didn't play defense. Mr. Big said that wasn't his thing. That's my guy. What's Mr. Big D? Nah, that wasn't his thing. Nah. Chauncey needed someone to go do that so he could get the job done offensively. We had Nick Van Exel earlier. Myself, Nick Van Exel, Chauncey Billups, all in the same backcourt in Denver. You want to talk about some fun practices? I bet John Lucas, our coach, basically told us, I wish you guys played in the games the way you play in practice. We'd have a much better record.
Lucas now doing a great job on the coaching staff of Steven Simmons and the Houston Rockets. Ball knocked out of bounds. Officials are going to confirm. It'll be Charlotte basketball down by 6, 8:49 to go in this first half. Angelo Ball has bounced around a little bit in his itinerant basketball career. Last season in the G League with the Greensboro Swarm, the Hornets G League affiliate. Of course, brother Lonzo with the Bulls, LaMelo with the Hornets, already in the NBA, signed with UCLA out of high school, suspended for the season, withdrew from school, and then prepared for the NBA draft. Terry out top. Little wing three off the mark, rebounded by Williams. The Chicago Bulls this year, with everybody healthy, I think are a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference. When you look at DeMar DeRozan, what he did last year, had another fantastic season, had so many clutch buckets for them, was an all-star, a healthy Ball, and you have Vucevic, who is a guy that can stretch the defense for you as a big. Got some good pieces there.
And the ultimate sixth man in Alex Caruso. He'll get the job done defensively as well as offensively. And Caruso, of course, makes big plays with them, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
Hey, Junior NBA Leagues is a new national network of youth basketball leagues that will tip off across the country in November. The leagues will enhance recreational basketball while bringing the excitement of the NBA and WNBA to youth players. Learn more at jrnbaleagues.com. Rebound by Figueroa off the miss. Bulls up by 8. Figueroa swings it. Floor wide open.
Working.
Tell me about his three-point shooting. I was just going to ask you.
Well, remember, he had the game winner against the Lakers, a game corner 3 to win the game in sudden death double overtime. So he has the ability to shoot him and has the ability to make him, as does this guy, Tasha Alexander, who missed a wide open look.
Now 0 for 3 from downtown. A little room service at the other end. Henry Drell out of Estonia. Undrafted this year, entered his name in the NBA draft. The Bulls up by 10, their largest lead of the game.
Always 2 for $6 every day. Oh, it's got ranch on it. Oh, it's got ranch on it. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
You want some more?
Wait till you see me on the downtown.
See you at home.
Enjoy advanced safety at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Fernando, he's here.
Drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard and new caramel drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard. That's 2 DQ All-Stars. Wait for 2
MLB All-Stars? Play it cool.
DQ.
Happy tastes good.
Live from England. With you faithful winners, Euro 2022.
It's what she needed. It's a goal right. And they can finally celebrate.
Hail to the Queens of Europe. Switzerland, Netherlands, Sunday at noon Eastern on ESPN.
Welcome back, everyone, to Las Vegas. Bulls and the Hornets. Iron Spruill joining us now at our table. Byron, tell us about your role with the league and what it's been like so far.
I've been 6 years in now. This is my 7th summer league, and I've got to tell you, it's been tremendous. I president of league operations, which includes referee operations, basketball strategy and analytics, domestic basketball operations, and international basketball operations. So when we come to summer league, it's all of us coming together to watch these young guys make their mark in the league, if you will, from a summer league perspective, and then certainly the start of their journey to make it into the NBA and be a substantial part of their team, whatever role they can play. So we're excited. And it almost feels like, Mark, we're back on that sort of regular calendar.
Right.
The pandemic has been what it's been, but to be on a regular calendar and cadence and summer league, then on to preseason and everything else, we're really feeling good about where we are right now.
And Byron, one of the things that you all always use for summer league is almost some experimental rules and things that you want to try. But what's been the emphasis this year, things that you've been trying to look at?
Yeah, I'll even take you back a little bit to last summer, right? We had the non-basketball moves that were incorporated into this coming season. Got that administered effectively, and the players adjusted as well as the referees were able to administer it on the court. This year is the transition take foul. So we got that approved by the Board of Governors through all the work with the competition committee over the last several months. And so now to see it at Summer League, and then we'll have the same process to really move it into the season. There'll be adjustment, there'll be calibration like we always do. The players will adjust, our referees will get it consistent, and that's something we wanted to take out of the game. We had the precedent of the G League and their 4 years of experience with it, the heightened penalty of 1 free throw in possession. So we're looking to take that into the game as well, into the NBA game.
And I'm going to interrupt you on the pushback. At the beginning of the season, when you hear all of the clamoring about, hey, James Harden's not the same guy. Do you guys take any of that personally, or you pretty much just say, hey, listen, this is the way we're going to go, and now this is what we have to implement, players have to adjust?
It's the latter. It's the betterment of the game. And so with our competition committee, which consists of players and coaches and GMs and governors and the PA representatives as well, to get that full collective to make the game better. And yes, it may affect several players at a time, but they will adjust. And so James and Trey, et cetera, they adjusted. Still had great seasons.
I was going to say Trey, but I figured I stop naming. How much pushback is there sometimes in trying to get some of those new initiatives through?
It's a process, right, Mark? Because you want to do what's better for the game.
Sure.
When we identify these issues, we go through a process to make sure we're doing right by the game. And at the end of the day, we get all the input that we need. I think we're coming up with the right solution. I'll give you an example. We went in from a league perspective, even into the competition committee, thinking that the height penalty of 2 free throws and possession to transition take foul was the right way to go. That's inconsistent with the clear path rule. So we thought going in that way would really eliminate the movement back based on the input of the competition committee. So to your point, getting people on the journey, coming up with the right solution. This happens to be very consistent with the G League that has the precedent. So we'll see how it goes. But ultimately, we still may have to calibrate as we go.
Well, let me ask you this: how much involvement do the players have, with your office, and basically as you talk about these rule changes, you talk about the different points of emphasis? How much you guys are listening to the actual players?
Oh, no doubt. It's highly important. I give you 2 levels of that. So on the competition committee, you got C.J. McCollum, you got Chris Paul, you got Kyle Lowry, and Dwight Powell giving us just outstanding input and collaboration with us on that journey. But they're great representatives and give us a lot of input, not only in the competition committee, but in other avenues as well, let's put it that way. That's been pretty consistent throughout the pandemic. But now I have to give a nod to Joe Dumars. I mean, just given his resume and what he brings to the basketball operations department, being the head of that, that's a player perspective too, but also an executive perspective as well.
What kind of things are we looking at moving forward in terms of we got this one resolved, and I know it's tough to you don't want to do too much too fast or soon. But what are some of the things that are next, quote unquote, when you're looking at kind of refining and making the game better in your own way?
Yeah, we're always going to kind of continue to look at points of emphasis. Well, we'll go back to the non-basketball moves. We'll look at screening. We'll look at traveling. We'll look at the rip through. I mean, so there are a lot of things that still are on plate. But to your point, we want to do things incrementally to the game too, and get things sort of implemented in a way that is consistent, not too confusing to fans, but also a way that our players can adjust as well. So we always kind of go through that. I would tell you one that we're also kind of going in cycles, but just overall decorum, respect for the game. We got to revisit some of those things. We'll be doing that as well. So,
Thanks a lot for joining us, and good luck moving forward, man. It's
Thank you,
a great
guys.
game. I think the NBA game is a fantastic place right now, and look forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you.
got it.
All right, thanks for having me.
34 to 18, back on the floor. Chicago up by 16 points. You know, one thing that I've always found interesting too is, and Corey, maybe you can comment on this, and I know there's not much of a movement towards it right now, but that FIBA rule of when the ball's in the cylinder, guys being able to either knock it off or slam it home, that's something that, you know what, I'm going to bring Byron back.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Byron deals with FIBA. He's involved in that one. He probably be able to answer that question to me.
That's always been an intriguing one for me, Byron, with the ball on the rim.
Yeah.
In FIBA, you can knock it
A
off.
live ball. Yeah.
A live ball, or you can dunk it in. Where are we with that? Is that even something that's discussed at this point?
Well, you lend yourself to one that probably is something we need to continue to examine with the competition committee so for the future. Now, there's two aspects of that. The goaltend itself, we're looking at automated technology that will help us with those calls. But to your point, if it's live ball, like the FIBA rules, then that's a whole different story. So those are things we're absolutely going to continue to explore. I'll give you one more. The one free throw in a game, like the two things, or a foul too. And so just things to have great game flow, speed up the game a bit, but not be gimmicky, but still keep it pure in a way, but ways that we continue to keep that viewership and focus on a live quality game, compelling game on the court.
I love the way that you talk about having those guys, Kyle Lowry, Dwight Powell, voices who actually play the game, having them in the moment.
So important.
And Byron came to the fans.
Well, before we let you go, because we're about to hit a break, but really quickly, is there ever a concern about keeping the NBA game different from everyone else, from international, from college, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, it has its own brand, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we're about the game of basketball, connecting people through the game, but at the same time, you got to have a compelling, quality product on the court. Our athletes are phenomenal, and so within the rules of our play, we want to keep it differentiated enough where people are going to. So we want to continue to stay focused on it. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thanks again. This time we'll let you go. We'll let you go this time. We won't bring you back. Make that trip to Europe. Take me with you. The TV voice.
Okay. You can continue to help us examine.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Interesting insights. 36 to 21 with a little over 2 minutes to go. JT Thor leading that one on the front rim. Bulls have led from the opening tip pretty much. Hornets 2 of 18 from downtown.
Malcolm Hill, one of the veterans on the G League Ignite team this past year, trying to find his way back into the NBA, but who did a great job as far as mentoring the younger players from Ignite, giving them an opportunity to be high draft picks. Jason Hart did a great job coaching that crew. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll be right back after this. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pizza Hut's got 2 mediums for just $6.99 each. That's less than $1 a slice.
Got 2 more slices. So much pizza.
My pizza.
What?
Carry out 2 medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. No one out Pizza Hut.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can bundle and save. Isn't that right, Phil? What in the world are you doing?
I'm in the metaverse, bundling my home and auto insurance.
Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
When you're waiting for 1 second can feel like forever. Pressing up and make a move. No way, just kissing.
The day of the heart attack, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. Learning that my daughter had a heart attack really shook me. It brings home how important it is to hold on to the people we love and the things that matter to us.
Aspirin helps reduce the chance of another heart attack by 31%. Your heart isn't just yours. Aspirin is appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
LeVar Ball, courtside here. Tell you what, there's been a lot said and written about LeVar. Bottom line, his 3 kids are playing professional basketball and making honest and wonderful livings for themselves and for their families. Period. And I will say this, in dealing with grassroots basketball the way that I do, LeVar Ball is one of the many fathers who's very outspoken about his young men, this, that, and the other. The difference is, as you mentioned, his 3 kids are pros. Right? There are very few that have 1 pro that are outspoken, as well as having 3. So again, props to LeVar and what he's been able to accomplish. A lot of people had criticisms for his methodology. Well, the process sometimes isn't as important as the final result. He made his own path for this young man, and they're playing professional basketball. Facts. I always remember the clip of LeVar walking in onto the set. I believe it was first take, right? And he's strolling in. And Lonzo's got the hood on behind him, like, do I really have to be here? This isn't about me. You gotta say it with your chest. Alexander brings it up court. Chicago up by 19, trying to improve the 3-1. Deep 3 by McGowan's off the mark. They'll have another opportunity. Shot clock down to 10. Nice kick out that time to McGowan's and Alexander. So Jonesy having a tough time shooting it. It's interesting because, I met LeVar a long time ago when Lonzo was at UCLA. Right. And he would come in studio with me on my LA radio show all the time. And back then, he would tell us how good the boys were. And this is when Lonzo had only played like maybe a couple of games at UCLA. And he, to his credit, said he thought that LaMelo could be the best one of all of them. And at that time, he was like 13 years old or something like that. It was crazy. But he has been a prophet in regards to his children. There's no doubt. No. And we also have to acknowledge the fact that he did play college basketball. It's not as though he wasn't. You got a resume. Right. He does have a resume of his own. So, to say that he had an eye for talent, you can, give him the credit for that early. You see the videos of the young men doing drills and push-ups and running hills in the summertime as youngsters going into the game. Corner wing 3 is good. And but I will also say this. Yeah. What his 2 point guard sons do best, he didn't teach them that. Passing, that's natural. That's innate. You cannot teach that. Right. The way that Lonzo and LaMelo pass the basketball, you can't teach that. They're born with that. It'll be interesting to see Lonzo back on the floor healthy for the Bulls. They're looking covered by Jones. And Carlin is doing a great job at taking good shots by him while he's shooting so well from the field. Started off at Bradford for 3 years, finished up in Louisville for a season. Went undrafted last season in the draft. 24 years old, that air ball will end the first half of play. Chicago leading it by 18. Halftime activities coming up. McGowan still trying to find his way. And Hall with a little Hall pass to the hoop.
I'm a fancy exercise bike dude, and I've gone from 0 to obsessed in like 3 days. After riding 12 miles to nowhere, I'm taking you teach classes. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you could be working out a way to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
His target odds are getting really creepy.
It's almost like Skittles is listening in on our conversation.
Gain the rainbow, taste the rainbow. Fernando, he's here.
Drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard and new caramel drumstick with Peanuts Blizzard? That's 2 DQ All-Stars. Wait, for 2 MLB All-Stars? Play it cool.
DQ. Happy tastes good. MLS Heineken rivalry. Live over everything. Sunday on ABC and ESPN. Truly hard seltzer. Now made with real fruit juice. It's real refreshing. Because real fruit juice tastes better. Truly. Truly hard seltzer. Now made with real fruit juice. It's real refreshing. Because real fruit juice tastes better. Truly.
Got lingering odors? Grab Febreze Small Spaces. Press firmly to activate, and Small Spaces continuously eliminates and prevents odors to freshen up any small room for up to 45 days. Febreze.
$12,000 in commission.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We are not a discount brokers. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. We're inside the Cox Pavilion as the Bulls lead 42-24. Excuse me. Chicago Bulls, as I mentioned, yes, leading 42-24. Sorry, I got bumped into here. Nonetheless, it's been a great week here in Las Vegas. It's time for the sights and sounds, the best of what we got.
Greetings from Las Vegas, Nevada. As we continue out of the desert,
10 consecutive days of basketball. This is NBA paradise in the middle of July.
oh, this is going to go.
Oh, that's down from behind. Oh! With the facial, Quindary Weatherspoon. Dance. May I have his dance? Oh, I gotta have his dance. Drop it all. My goodness.
Run his own stats. You talk so much about how he takes care of his body, but look at you. What kind of ability do you bring?
This is war. You got to stay hydrated out here in Vegas, man.
Keeps it up. Are you kidding? What do you think of too? Just a real shot from Mataron.
I don't know if you guys heard my story. I was driving DoorDash years ago. Here to be a part of Boston Celtics. It's special.
Oh, the follow. Elijah Stewart came out of his shoe.
Wow, the shoe is outside the paint there.
She will know she let me have a mission. You can accept that with regardless. No defense. That's a heart.
Shoot out some hammers in the first quarter.
Showed off, that fella. Oh, did he hop up on him? Did he take karate too, bro? Here's our guy, Richard Jefferson, officiating the second quarter.
I can see why this is addicting.
I don't know if there's been anybody that's somebody any more impressive than Keegan Murray.
Sam's one of those once a decade kind of players, really lengthy, can shoot the ball, play inside, outside, can play multiple different positions, so it's great being able to play with him.
I just don't think anybody's better than me. I just go on the court and play like it's my last time playing. I just feel like that. Just hearing the ball, having fun, bro. This is my interview site. As you can see, everybody's having a blast here, including Mr. Terry with the nice bucket there. Second half with Mark Jones. Corey Alexander is coming up next.
Whether you're looking to buy something on the small side, or the medium side, or, wow, that's really big, Zillow Home Loans can get you the mortgage you need, so you can get the home you want. For financing made simple, there's no place like Zillow. Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S.
$2 for $6. Oh, it's got ranch on it. Oh, it's got ranch on it. Two of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
The Golden State Warriors are NBA champions. Gear up with the official locker room collection. Available now at NBAstore.com. Get your commemorative NBA Finals, men's, women's, and kids championship t-shirts. And the official hat, the same ones the players wear as they hoist the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy. Plus, other unique one-of-a-kind designs. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Don't fall for clickbait, fall for cluckbait with a doubly delicious chicken deal only at Hardee's. Find a fresh frame of mind at Planet Fitness for $1 down. So while you see a treadmill, you also see a fast lane to more confidence.
Is this place that's a...
Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends July 20th.
She's got the violet hair. Now she stands out from all the rest. You know her anywhere. Where she's mine. Yeah, she's mine.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA 2K23 Summer League from Las Vegas. Sometimes you gotta stay in your lane, sometimes you gotta switch lanes, and Dalen Terry has been staying in his lane and doing his thing in this game.
He really has. Attacking the basket, getting downhill. Had a breakout performance last time out, and even better, this one 5 for 7 from the field already in the first half. And get the job done. Knocking down a three, which is not something we've seen a lot from him, but getting the job done on both ends of the floor as well, getting it done defense. Let's look at some of the pertinent numbers. Charlotte, though, shooting just 24% from the field. Chicago Bulls at 46%. And the Bulls trying to improve to 3-1. Saw Arturas Karnisovas courtside a moment ago. Brain trust of the Chicago Bulls. Basketball operations, and Mark Eversley as well of the Bulls, their general manager. Jones ahead to have a conference with my guy Tashawn Alexander. Okay, at halftime. What'd you tell him? I told him make a shot so I can talk about family. He says, I'm not missing anymore. Okay, we'll see. Hey, the pressure's on him now. He said it, not me. Nice and bucket by Crutcher. And all the way to the rim and finished successfully. He's got 10. He's had some good moments in the first half. He really has. And Crutcher, started off great, 8 points off the bat. And starting off the second half the same way he did the first, attacking the basket. But this time it may be a 3-point play the old-fashioned. 4 or 5 from the field, 2 or 3 from downtown. 10 assists, 4 rebounds at the free throw line right now. Jalen Crutcher. The fact that he plays with a great Anthony Grant. And Tate. The side pick and roll, Simonovic, big involved. Terry, show and go, tough shot. Figueroa cut, never got it back. And a cross-court pass out of bounds and off the turnover. It'll be Chicago basketball. That's the 13th turnover for Charlotte. In the old school, meaning my era bigs, would say the mistake there was Mark Williams was putting the ball down. That's one where you catch on the run and just simply go up and try to finish the comparison to dribble. You know what? It's hard for me to say old school and refer to myself. Hey, go easy on yourself. You got to give yourself a little bit more love there. But it's interesting that I'm actually caught in the midst of what is considered to be old school and the new school. I get it. Thor with a short little jump shot. Of course, a one-step Curry helped revolutionize the whole outlook, the way the game is played now with a three-point shot. And Dave Lillard, guys that regularly shoot three-pointers beyond 35 feet and make them with regularity. Jones with a pull-up over Williams. Impressive shot.
Carlik has been impressive. Not only his last time out, but also here this afternoon as well. Continued to play with great poise and confidence shooting the basketball. As ACC Rookie of the Year in his lone season at Louisville. For as long as we have an ACC, nice cut off the ball. Don't do that to me, sorry, man. Just big and fat. That just hurt right there. Sometimes they follow the money at the collegiate level. Mark Williams, underrated passer. Finding Figueroa for the easy finish.
Where's Lucky? I know he's around for summer.
Magic Gem, you and the sparkle with your rainbow sparkles, like it's in the dark.
There's Lucky!
No, each other with new Magic Gems. They're magically delicious.
Welcome to Allstate, where anyone who bundles their home and auto insurance saves. Isn't that right, Phil?
Sorry, I'm a little busy.
What in the world are you doing?
I'm in the metaverse, bundling my home and auto insurance.
Why don't you just do that in the real world?
Because now I can bundle in space. Watch this.
I still don't get it. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
Pizza Hut's got 2 mediums for just $6.99 each. That's less than $1 a slice.
Got 2 more slices. So much pizza.
My pizza.
What?
Carry out 2 medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. No one out Pizza Hut.
To look up and see those names, I know I'm in a place of gods.
We have a terrific team. We just play the right way. But all things that are great one day come to an end. There's a family feud over who will run the Lakers. What's bound to carry over onto the court.
There's never enough success to go around.
That's what it is. It is a real life succession.
All those people want to hear my Laker secrets. The camera on my face.
Welcome back to the Cox Pavilion as the Bulls lead the Hornets by 14, and we're here and joined by two-time NBA champion, of course, NCAA champion Mario Chalmers. Now, Mario, it's been a while since you were out here, but you've been taking in these particular games. What are your memories of being in Summer League?
Just coming out and showing out your skills. You know, you're fresh out of college. It's your first time to touch the NBA scene and be seen by, NBA fans. So it's a good time to come out and just have fun and play a game.
Now, do you have any specific memories from back then? I mean, you were a second-round pick. You came in with Miami Heat. And, you had to make your way into that roster.
Definitely have to make my way. I mean, back in my day, we was in Orlando. So I remember just a little short drive to Orlando, getting ready for every game, being around Michael Beasley. The first game we played Derrick Rose in the Bulls. So it was always a great matchup, always good fun.
And, of course, your time there was incredible. I mean, you had so many great memories there, winning 2 championships. I remember the game in Sacramento. You had 10 threes. You tied a Miami Heat record. When you think back to that 4-year stretch with LeBron and D-Wade and Chris Bosh and yourself and that entire group, what's the fondest memory you have?
Just being there with that collective group of guys. Not many people get to say they play with, 4 Hall of Famers, 5 Hall of Famers, and Ray on that team. So just be able to enjoy those guys, play with some of the greats, and learn basketball.
Now, you mentioned when about Ray, but Ray hit that infamous shot that we all know. It could be arguably the greatest shot in NBA Finals history. What were your memories of that situation, down 5, 28 seconds to go against the Spartans?
Just believe, being in that situation, playing in college, playing in Memphis, being in a similar situation. Just keep believing and know something was going to happen. And, when you got a guy named Jesus on your team, it always works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, no doubt. And now, again, you mentioned your big shot in college. Which was the bigger shot, your shot or his shot?
It's a tough call. I might have to say his shot because it helped us get to the game 7 where we needed to get our second championship. So it goes to, I say it's a tie, actually. It's a tie.
Fair enough. And then you obviously had 10-day with Miami last year. You played with Sioux Falls. What's in store for you moving forward?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out. I still want to play, but I see how the game is going, see how they get younger and younger. So get through a lot of basketball situations. So I think coaching and playing development is the next thing. So I got a lot of basketball knowledge on this trip.
Well, Rio, congratulations if that's the case on a great career. Best of luck moving forward. Thank you for this. All right, guys, back to you. All right, thanks a lot, George. Great interview. Mario Chalmers had his best days with the Miami Heat. Interesting summer league reflections. Yeah, they played up in Orlando first before coming out here to Las Vegas back in the day. And of course, everybody remembers his time with the Heat, man, those 4 consecutive years playing for for the NBA championship. Saw Mario work out recently down in Miami at St. Mary's gym. One of the big trainers down there. See, defensively, doing a great job coming over the big fella. We'll need to try to finish it off with the dunk. You know, back to Chalmers, one thing that really marked his stay in Miami was, at times, his irrational confidence. If you ask Mario Chalmers, and it worked in his favor, and I believe this as a positive personality trait, his irrational confidence really imbued himself confidence-wise to better performances along the way. And, you know, a lot of times he and LeBron would get into these real heated and passionate exchanges, but the entire team benefited as a result.
Josie, to that point, when I covered that team in Miami back in those days before I arrived at ESPN, you know, they used to call them the Big Three, as you know, and then the Little 12.
There you
and
go.
Mario used to take exception to
Yes.
that. Udonis was the one that would call them the Little 12, and Mario thought it was the Big Four, okay?
Yeah.
Because of the type of shots he would hit in those
You
games.
know what I'm talking about there,
Oh,
George.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. My question is irrational confidence, is that yours or is that Jeff Van Gundy's? Which one of you guys used that
Actually, I believe it might have been Jeff who did it first, but I know Bill Simmons used to have a ranking when he worked at ESPN. He used to have a yearly ranking of the rational confidence guys in the NBA. So when he worked at ESPN,
I used irrational confidence on Chalmers before I even heard it. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'll just wonder if that's what you're asking. I've heard it many times before, but I didn't know if that was coined by Van Gundy or if it does go back. So I'll use another term, audacious impulse.
that works too.
There you go.
Now, I got another funny story. So at the time, Ethan Skolnick, who still works in Miami, he was in college in Miami, Central for a long time. When Mario first, when LeBron and them first came to play with Wade and Box, he went to Mario, and I remember standing right next to him. And he's like, so how do you envision yourself kind of fitting with this group? Like, do you see yourself like a Derek Fisher type? And he looked at him like, Derek Fisher? You know, like, whoa. Derek Fisher was obviously a five-time champion, but he looked at him like he was crazy. He's like, no, I tried to pattern my game up with Chris Paul's game.
Yeah.
And that's what he thought. He thought he belonged with anybody on the floor any given day.
Great question. You talked to Mario Chalmers back in the day, those 4 straight years going to the NBA Finals with the Heat. He believed he was a top 5 point guard in the league. And, hey, it worked for him. It really did. And again, that's the way you have to think. Sure. And honestly, to be successful at this level, you've got to always feel like that when you walk out onto the court, that you're just as good or better than that guy that you're facing. I mean, irrational confidence wasn't a term when I was playing, but I'm sure it would have been applied to me if it had been. Stick with audacious impulse. That sounds sexy. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if I know that'll hook you up, right? Hey, here's our next WNBA game, and it should be a great one. Asia Wilson, the Aces in Connecticut, taking on Jonquel Jones in the Sun. Catch all the action on Sunday, 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time on ABC, as well as the ESPN app. Aces play just across the way, of course. And, boy, Mohegan Sun, what a great place, is one of the great atmospheres for WNBA basketball. Waiting for them to bring a team to Miami, South Florida. They used to have the Miami Soul there back in the day. One there, one in Sacramento. Yeah, I'll take one of either place. I know you love women's hoops too. I really do. And again, you know, much respect to all the women getting the job done in the WNBA, and I believe it's a tremendous product. And I tell you what, today would be a wonderful day to bring Brittany Griner home. But they Russia right now. The process looks to play out in her face. Jones sets the drag screen and slips it cross court. Gotta love the defensive intensity. Okay, the down drops. Simonovic. Oh, he did that, tapping up the bed. He more about it. He knew what was going to happen. I don't have to look back. I know I dropped it off perfectly for the layup. He's back up to 19. Gowan's playing with his food. Got it partially blocked. All that action, no result. That's South Carolina crime, however, though. You got Bryce McCollins from South Carolina going up against 801 against Sin City. Today is not having it, but the beautiful fine Simonovic to behind the back to Malcolm Hill was able to finish it off. But you see the big fella after the pass, back. I'm going to dap up my teammates because they can recognize how nice I am with this drop off. Show me some love. Show me some love. Montenegro, 22 years old. Nice little handle and ran the floor well on that one. And these fellas got some skill showing off all the backs of the offensive repertoire. So many talented basketball players coming out of the Balkan states, Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro. I'm so thankful you broke that down. Geography is not my strong suit. I'll be the first to tell you that. My next international trip is going to be to Croatia, so I can take a dip in the Adriatic Sea. I love going to Europe every year, seeing some of the wonderful sights and sounds over there. Recently came back from Greece with the family, visited the basketball court where Giannis Antetokounmpo played on as a young man growing up in Athens. Went to his neighborhood, there's a huge mural of him on the court, 94 feet long. Is the movie Rise out yet? Yes, it is out. I've seen it twice. Was the court in the movie? No, it wasn't. Not as well. You know what? I don't remember it being in the movie. No. But I saw the real thing, so I might be wrong on that. But it was great to walk in the steps of he and his brother and his family grew up, and really gives you more respect for his journey when you look at some of the obstacles he faced. Whistle, foul. That'll be 2 shots for the Bulls. International component always present here. And Summer League, I've talked about it before, you have scouts and it's players, Corey, auditioning not just for NBA personnel, but there's scouts here from Spain, from Greece, from Italy, Lithuania, Serbia, all around the world, Japan, all taking copious notes on the players here on the floor. This is an opportunity to get your money out. Sure. You come to Summer League and you perform well here, you may not be a guy, we talked about Sadarius Well earlier, who may not be a guy that's necessarily looking to even try to get back into the NBA. Of course, everyone would want that, but at the same time, he can get his money up, get the job done here in Summer League, playing against the best of the best, and knowing that those scouts are here live. 22-point lead. Alexander kicks it to the corner, and Ball had his pass knocked out. It'll stay Charlotte basketball. Did you ever think about playing in Europe? I did. I played 1 year in Italy. So when you mentioned Croatia, I actually had an opportunity. We played in what city? Euroleague. I was in Rome. I was very fortunate. You hit the jackpot. I was very fortunate to play, in Rome. Here's just Roma. One season. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. You don't remember? I bet he made you practice twice a day, though, right? He made you practice twice a day. I know how that works. Yeah, we did practice twice a day, and it was great experience until I got hurt. Bucket and 1 for the Bulls underneath. That's Maker, a floor maker. Tender Howard, it was a big deal when he made that decision. Of course, his brother Vaughn Maker played in the NBA. Bucks and a couple of other teams. Shout out to Mike Larkin, head coach at Howard University. They like to refer to as the real HU. That's a battle that goes on. I got a lot of Howard people, a lot of Henry people. That battle goes on constantly. I will not weigh in on it. As Jones knocks down the 3, I got a friend, Rick Mahorn, played at Hampton, as Hampton Institute. Before it was Hampton University. Rick Mahorn, one of the more physical players back in the day. That other school we were talking about, Howard. Where Baker knocks down the 3. This is a good stroke from the big man. LiAngelo Ball off the triple handoff. Good feet inside for the bucket. I'll tell you this, Mark, I have an honorary degree from Hampton University. Okay. My roommate, Chris Harvey, his son of Dr. President Harvey at Hampton. So I slept on the floor at the president's house a few times. Importantly, we got to be friends. Back after this.
Meet Zach. His work-life balance is anything but balanced. But when he gets on the bike, he becomes Zen Zach. Zen Zach exists outside of time. His heartbeat sounds like a milling circle.
It's cool, right?
The only notification he hears is the sound of the ocean. So if you want to reach him, talk to the ocean.
The ocean.
And Senzak rides with Geico, because saving money and getting great coverage is totally chill. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
If Damian Lillard accepted his spot at the end of the bench, he never would have been at the rec center before it opened. If he listened to those who overlooked him, he never would have heard his name called as a first-round pick. And if he let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets that shaped him. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
The Bulls have been excited about Marko Simonovic, and we can see why. Coming up with the offensive rebound putback, was showing off an array of skills to jump up over the taller defender at Mark Williams, and then the ability to drive past defenders, finish with acrobatic layups, getting the job done to tip in, and most importantly, getting on the break, dropping it off behind his back to finish, and then being a great teammate, dapping up all his guys. Mark, just like me dapping you up after you get me with the Crisco here in Vegas. There you go, and Ball missing the mid-range. You know, Simonovic actually began his professional career in Italy. You were talking about how you played in Italy. He played in one of the lower divisions in 2015. Also played in Slovenia and Serbia before signing a 3-year contract with Chicago in August of last season. And yes, to get back to Athens and the movie Rise, and I was able to see the court where Giannis played as a youth. It was in the movie, now that I remember. My lovely wife and bride just reminded me that yes, it was. And I tell you what, it was great to see all the kids playing basketball there. Really underscored for me how worldwide the NBA is and how global the sport is. We get there and guys are on the street asking me about free agency in the NBA, and not just the big names, but some of the next tier of guys too. The league is so global, it's incredible. You know what I took from that story? What's that? You're a celebrity everywhere in the world, huh? They know me around here. It was fun. Hey, it's part of the reach, I guess. No, I just work a lot. It really has been that, though, and of course, you know, you as one of the faces of the NBA could be very recognizable because the game is watched so much in every other country. And again, you know, we got to also go back and make sure we give props to the best basketball team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team. Oh, Jones with the jam. Hi, Jones. Speaking of international basketball, the Bahamas being very well represented. Not just with Kai Jones with the emphatic finish, but also DeAndre Ayton made it to the news today. So Bahamas being very well represented today. Well, I'm going to go one better there as Maker gets the bucket to go. The Bahamian national team winning one of the recent games in FIBA regional qualification, led by Buddy Hield, who had a big game, 24 points. Here's Kai Jones finding away the Bahamian. Chris DeMarco, assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors, is the head coach of that Bahamian national team, and he could use a little Kai Jones on that Bahamian roster. Absolutely. I love the way that Kai got up, didn't hang on the rim, no none of that, just make the nets curl up. That's the whole Melo dunk. That's how Melo used to throw it through back in the day. Don't even get the blisters and the calluses on the hands. Just flip it through there real quick. 48.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. You got another country's passport you can play some hoop with still? Nah. You never got an Italian passport over there? I did not, and when you mentioned playing, come on now, it hurts. Taking on a boat ride around the southern coast of Italy, man. Positano. Maker from deep. Tell you what, he's filling up the stat sheet here late in the game. Maker making buckets right now with 27 seconds to go. He has 10 in the third quarter alone. That Manek on the post-up, quick spin, and dime to Williams. Williams going to go to the free throw line. So how do you think that dynamic is going? Brady Manek and Mark Williams playing together on the same front court after the history they had. It's on to the next. Next play, next team, next paycheck. NBA 2K23 Summer League folks action continues tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. ESPN2 tomorrow, Clippers, Utah, followed by Indiana, Washington, and then the Lakers taking on the Pelicans. Then on ESPN tomorrow, it's OKC against Golden State. It'd be great if we get another chance to see Chet Holmgren and James Wiseman, some talented bigs. You know, Wiseman averaged 11 points and 6 rebounds in his limited action with Golden State before getting hurt, but he's come back a much more polished player. And, you know, we'll wait and see with a bigger sample size, but his three-point shot has developed. Chicago leading by 20 when we come back for the final 10. Right after this.
I'm a fancy exercise bike dude. And I'm taking detours. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you could be working this out yourself. So get Allstate.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the Ideal Agent was that we saved $12,000 in commission.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We are not a discount brokerage. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
Why are bugs shooting out of your shirt?
Oh, I bought it when I bought it online. They give me cash back for this money and everything I buy.
Guess that explains the couch then. And the kids' faces.
Yep, bought it all when I bought it.
In-store, online, there's cashback in everything you buy.
Carl never really thought much of his credit scores until he got Credit Karma and used his scores to score more, like this less humble above. That's what I'm talking about, Carl. Credit Karma. Download the free money app where your hard work pays off.
Final 10 minutes coming up here from Cox Pavilion. Mark Jones chopped it out courtside with Corey Alexander and George Sedano. Look at Corey's All-Summer League team. And again, when you think about only 2 games with Paolo Banchero and Moses Moody thus far, but that's my starting backcourt right now. Paolo playing the point forward to perfection in the first 2 games with all eyes on him. And then you think about Keegan Murray, who has been building it up the entire time he's been in Vegas. Whistle and a foul underneath this Maker. Trying to get himself another bucket. I'd love to see that one again, because was that a call based on the result? Here we go. Or was that actually a good block? Did he have? No. Great call. Great call. That's all arm on that one. And you would expect a shot blocker like Mark Williams. You know, you almost anticipate he got the basketball on that one. Great job by our officiating crew. They got that nice little dime drop, too. Maker, of course, remember, a 5-star recruit. Highest ranked player to commit to a historically black college or university, but participated in only 2 games at Howard in 2021 before suffering a season-ending injury. That was also a year where Howard had to cancel their season based upon COVID, so, you know, it was a tough year for Howard basketball. But I did like the idea behind what Maker was doing. Had the pleasure of working with one of the top quarterbacks in school history, Jay Walker, calling the Celebration Bowl several years. Nice move inside by LeAngelo Ball. Cornwall kicks it to the corner. Quick 3, laces it. Ethan Thompson connects it.
LeAngelo drives. Right-hand glance is good.
Williams with his delay set. Manning tried to cut back door. Instead, it comes out to Alexander, Manic, quick catch and shoot, got it. Good execution by him. Quick catch and shoot is 100. He caught that in the shooting pocket, never brought it down, no dip. Knocked down the corner three. Oh, you just said something there that caught my arrested my attention. The dip. Are you a proponent of the dip? Because some coaches don't like to teach the dip. I had all of my kids that play collegiate basketball dip when they shoot. Well, I'll be honest with you. I did dip when I shot off of the catch and shoot. Right. But it does slow down your process. Okay. So in today's game where the three is guarded differently, if you can do it without dipping, I got to the point to where I could catch. You see, right there, yeah, right does dip. Work for him, and it works. Right. But if you have the ability to be able to catch the ball high and he automatically release it, then that's a plus. That's one of the reasons why Steph Curry has the quickest shot of all time, because he doesn't have to dip the basketball. He can catch it already above his shoulders and let it fly. I thought he dipped a little bit though. Klay Thompson, I know, is not a big dip guy in his motion. Yeah, Steph will at times, right, but he doesn't have to. Okay, I got it. I mean, he can shoot it anyway, anyhow, it doesn't matter. You're right. Alexander missing the little floater. Manic inside, Williams finds Ball with another field goal. Charlotte trying to mount a late charge. LiAngelo Ball with 6 points. I talk to that technical basketball stuff with you, Corey Alexander. Absolutely. We can do that all day. Darius Thornwell. Look, bounce pass made it to Thompson. Tough move, got it to fall over the bigger defender, McGowan. Point lead for Chicago, looking to improve to 3-1. Remember, after 4 games, they'll reseed the teams in the top 2. Will play the championship game on Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 local time here in Las Vegas. Manic cross court, one more to the corner. Good find by Ball, but that jumper short by Alexander. Didn't he tell you he wasn't going to miss again? I wasn't going to bring it up, but to me, that you did. That's exactly what he told me. My young guy, Tyshawn Alexander, who had a big performance against the Lakers, 22 points, hit the shot that sent the game to overtime, but has struggled to find the range here in this one. But you remember, now we're playing it back-to-back. Right. And now Tyshawn does have a year under, actually was a member of the NBA Finals Phoenix Suns team a year ago, right? So he's not a rookie. So he's played these back-to-backs before. But speaking of the Phoenix Suns, big news of the day, DeAndre Ayton, if you haven't already heard, folks, agreeing to an offer sheet, 4 years and reported $133 million. And we had Bobby Marks on at halftime. It's Alexander. There's part of the promise, studio. No, you're missing it. There we go. Bobby Marks came on and said, once he signs the offer sheet, agreeing and signing, important to note, are 2 different things. But once he signs the offer sheet, there will be a 48-hour window with which the Suns will have an opportunity to say yay or nay on DeAndre Ayton. And of course, he won't be able to be traded if he signs it until January 15th. Another important stipulation that Bobby Marks pointed out. And let's give Bobby Marks a lot of credit for not only what he did for us today, but also on sports, and really breaking down a lot of the rules and what happens in free agency and signing moving forward. $133 million. You know what NBA stands for? Never broke again. I say it again and again.
NBA 2K23 Summer League is presented by NBA 2K23. Answer the call.
Only 2 things are forever: love and Liberty Mutual, customizing your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. If anyone objects to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. No, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You might think you're alone because of what you look like. But what does it look like anyway? You can't go from anything.
Russian performance reflects its great attitude and sales connect.
A little time for the child within you. Baby, young and free. Run to the box and throw away the keys and hug you and kiss you and love you.
What's the biggest thing I did when I was with our parents?
These targeted ads are getting really creepy.
It's almost like Skittles is listening in on our conversations.
Gain a rainbow, taste the rainbow. Big news of the day. Wojbomb delivering DeAndre Ayton $133 million offer sheet with the Indiana Pacers. Boy, if he ends up flowing there when it's all said and done, that'll be an interesting combination of players they have there. Of course, a talented young backcourt with Tyrese Halliburton and Chris Duarte, right, to begin with.
It really would, but I need you to break down what you gave to us in our production meeting, the difference between agree and sign. So break that down for me. So like Bobby Mark said, agreeing is kind of giving your word. Actually signing it, which Bobby Mark said will probably be towards the end of Friday going into Saturday, and then there'll be a 48-hour window with which Phoenix can make their mind up whether to match or not. I believe the time frame was he actually has to sign it by 11:59 p.m. tonight Eastern Standard Time, and then of course that gives the Phoenix Suns 48 hours to be able to match that. And then you think about the dominoes that could potentially fall after that. This certainly will have some kind of impact on the Kevin Durant situation. There's your guy, McGowan. Come on, wanted to punch to finish, huh? Absolutely. He did everything perfect, throws it off the glass, ready to dunk it, and just lays it up. Slavich makes the triple handoff, sets the screen. Rice snakes the screen. Rice's trainer, your guy, Shammond Williams, right, would be very disappointed by the fact that he did not dunk that. After doing everything to perfection to get it off the glass, that's got to be a highlight. Terry got the layup. I tell you what, Dalen Terry has improved from game 1 to where he is now in game 4. Just seems a lot more relaxed in his approach and playing at a better speed. He really has. And, you're talking about a guy that was projected to be a second-round pick. Wow. And jumps up into the first round. But I can tell you right now, one of the best personalities that you will find, especially in this rookie class. I'm hoping that we can get our guy George Stano to get an interview with him after the game, because I just want everyone to hear the type of personality. What jumps off the page at you? Well, I mean, again, his confidence, one, you start with that, but also his ability to recognize who he is, what he does well. I mean, he's not going to shoot threes in this game, but he'll be the first to tell you that's not what I do best. Right. I am a guy that's going to go out and lock down your other team's defenders, but he has that confidence, but also the ability to understand that where his strengths are. 4:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Charlotte with a lot of work to do, climbing uphill. Hornets with the rebound. Alexander leading the break, with the Bulls back defensively in transition. Kai Jones with the ball. Slips the screen, was open momentarily. JT Thor drives and draws the foul for Marko Simonovic. That's going to be his 5th personal. And JT Thor at the free throw line, 19 years old, out of Auburn. 37th pick overall last year. Split time between the Hornets and the G League last year. Averaged 12 points a game in Greensboro. Born in Nebraska, but considers Anchorage, Alaska his hometown. I've never been up there. I hear it's beautiful in the summertime. I was about to ask you, and you've been 24 hours of daylight. I'm not good with that. I need the sun to go down so I can go to sleep. That's the part I don't want to be a part of. Your brother Corey Alexander going to see the world someday. Simonovic inside, missed it, right to his teammate. You've already seen it. You just got to take me with you next time. Get that passport ready. Let's ride. McGowan's
Good defense by Terry, now doubling. Active defensively, digging on those post-ups. McGowan's talked about Shamon Williams, working him out and training him. Shamon, a former great player, and doing some good work with some younger guys now. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Shamon is Mr. South Carolina. So when you start thinking about Sedarius Thornwell, you think about Bryce and Trey McGowan, all the guys who are coming through South Carolina, most of them see Shamon Williams at some point. He's the guy that's really taken over as a lot of player development with that state, and actually gone on to coaching at ODU for a women's basketball program. So he's just a savant when it comes to the game of basketball, and teaching young players how to get better at it. And of course, was a very good player himself. Along with that guy who was here with us earlier, Jeff McGinnis. Yes, a great backcourt in North Carolina back in the day. Off the steal, Jones fouled by Terry. Great decision by Terry on that one, because you would find yourself on the wrong side of a Kai Jones poster.
So with Geico, we can easily bundle home and car insurance and save even more.
Yeah, home, car, motorcycle, all bundled together. Just like that breakfast burrito.
So can I get your Visa?
Yeah,